This could be the end of life as we know it. It's a phrase that perhaps we've heard. More importantly, perhaps some of us have experienced that in our life. Moments in our life when we realize this could be the end of our life as we know it. That's certainly a terrifying thing to realize. Isaiah the prophet in the first reading today, he's just there praying in the temple, probably doing his ordinary, regular, going to Mass, typical Sunday, except it wasn't Mass and it probably wasn't Sunday, it was Saturday, the Sabbath day. He's doing his daily worship, minding his own business, when all of a sudden he has this great, tremendous vision of God and the angels, and it's overwhelming and terrifying. And he even says, I'm doomed. This is the end of my life as I know it. Because of course then God says, I want you to come be my prophet. Your life will be changed forever. Isaiah probably thought, oh crap. This is the end of my life as I know it. My life will never be the same. And that's terrifying. Lord, I'm not worthy. Jump ahead to the Gospels. The apostles in the boat. That they had a good thing going probably. With their fishing and all that. Peter probably had a pretty successful fishing business. Especially with a catch like that. All of a sudden he has 2 boats full to the point that the boats are in danger of sinking. A booming business. But all of a sudden, they decide to leave that life behind. This moment for them, Jesus says, come follow me. And they realize this could be the end of our life as we know it. And if you look at the apostles, it could seem like a very tragic ending to a story. They had a decent business going, especially with a double boat, catch of fish, be money for days, fish for days. And they leave it all behind to follow some teacher. And then that teacher, by the way, gets crucified, murdered, executed, and so do every single one of his 12 followers. Well, except for John, but 11 of his 12 followers. All executed, and Simon Peter himself, crucified upside down. Could seem like a tragic end. The end of life as we know it. But of course, we know that there's the rest of the story. What comes after? The foundation of the church through which God's transforming grace is poured out into the world, all the way down to us being here and now. But many times, we have those moments in life. When I don't know how life's going to be after this. This is the end of my life as I know it. Where we realize we have to leave something behind. When this life that we know has to die. It's something we're comfortable with, something we're familiar with, maybe even something we love, has to die. And that can be terrifying. Because we don't know what's going to come out on the other side. We don't know how we're going to carry on through this. When we face this death, we don't know what life will be like on the other side. But the thing we do know is there is the rest of the story. That there is life on the other side of death. When life as we know it ends, there's something more on the other side. But it's hard to let go. There's a story of a little 4-year-old girl named Mary. Mary had been doing chores around the house to earn a bit of an allowance. After a while, through nickels and dimes, she eventually got a bit of an allowance. Saved herself $5. One day, she was at her dad at Walmart. She saw this beautiful plastic pearl necklace. She fell in love with it. $4.95. So she used her own hard-earned money to buy this beautiful plastic pearl necklace. She loved that pearl necklace. These plastic pearls. She wore them everywhere. She wore them to school, over to her friend's house, all day, every day. But this was her prized possession that she loved. But one day, she's getting ready for bed. Her father comes to tuck her in and bid her good night. And he asks her, he says, "Mary, do you love me?" She says, "Of course, Daddy. You know I love you." And he said, "Then would you give me your pearl necklace?" She said, "Oh, Daddy, I'll give you anything except that. Take my best teddy bear. Take my best Barbie doll. Anything but this necklace. These plastic pearls." So he relents. But the next night, he comes in, tells her goodnight. He says, "Mary, do you love me?" "Yes, Daddy, of course I love you." "Will you give me your pearl necklace?" She says, "No." And this goes on for several nights. He comes in, gives her a kiss, says, "Do you love me?" "Yes, Daddy, you know I love you." "Then give me your plastic pearl necklace." She can't do it. Finally, after several nights of this, night after night of the same thing, one night the father comes in and he finds little Mary sitting there on her bed. You can tell something's wrong, tears streaming down her face. He says, "Mary, what's wrong?" She doesn't say a word. She hands him her plastic pearl necklace. He says, "Thank you." And he puts that plastic pearl necklace in his pocket. From the other pocket, he pulls out this beautiful black velvet case. And he opens it. And inside is a real pearl necklace with golden chain. He said, "Mary, I want you to have this." That sometimes we have to allow life as we know it to end, to receive something more, something better that the Lord has in store for us. But if we don't allow our life as we know it to end, then we'll never know what's on the other side. Isaiah the prophet could have said, "Lord, you're terrifying, no thanks." We never would have had the great prophet. Peter could have said, "Lord, depart me from I'm a sinful man." And he said, "Come follow me." And he could have said, "No thanks. I got a good gig here. See you later." And he never would have known what was on the other side. So what is it that we cling to, that we need to let go of, to allow our life to end as we know it, for God to bring us to something that He has in store for us on the other side?